I guess I've done a lot of hard things in my life, just going to veterinary school, having kids, being married. And I figure, well, it's all been hard, so it's worth it in the long run. We, as entrepreneurs online, a lot of times we just go at it alone. And then everything's on you. I had good coaches. I think that's a big part of it too. I mean, having you guys in my corner has made all the difference.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the Flipped Lifestyle Podcast. Shane and Jocelyn here with you today.
I'm here.
And we're excited to talk to maybe you might be an OG member. I don't know if you were an original member, but it was very, very close to the beginning. Dr. Carolyn Lincoln, how are you doing?
I'm good. Great. Yeah, I think it was right at the beginning. And I remember trying to I listened to you on Pat Flynn, and then I remember I'm like, I have to get in this membership. This is what I need. And I couldn't figure out how to buy it. It took me a while.
That was probably because we didn't know how to set it up back then.
Right. Right. And 10 years later, things haven't changed that much. We were just working on something that was like completely broken on the website.
Our contact form. Look, we've been doing this for over a decade, and our contact form was totally broken. It wasn't sending submissions to the email inbox that we wanted them to. And so we just got up and hang out with our dogs and fixed our contact form this morning. That's what we do.
It just goes to show you that what we say is true. It doesn't have to be perfect. Like, just get it out there. And, can people contact you on your website?
I don't know. Can they buy your product? You'll figure it out eventually. Yeah. That's how it works. So, Dr. Carolyn, let's catch everybody up. Tell everybody who you are, your background a little bit, what you do, and then and what you're working on right now.
Okay, well, I help people improve their dog's behavior. And my goal is that for the dog and the person to both have one of life's best friendships.
Aw, so that's so true.
Yeah, that's my goal.
As a dog lover, I like that mission very much.
So let me go back in time just for a second, because we've always loved dogs, but I wouldn't ever have called us a dog owner or want to be a dog owner. And Carolyn came into our life at a very important time as well, because we moved out to our new place and somebody had abandoned a poor little puppy. His name was Bandit, and we were keeping him. But this dog had lived on the streets for a while. I mean, he was a wild, cantankerous dog. And we were like, hey, Carolyn, we're going to get this dog, or we're going to keep it outside. And she's like, okay, buddy. And then we're like, okay, Carolyn, we're bringing the dog in the garage. And she's like, right. And then we got a second dog. And she's like, I thought you all didn't even want one dog. We didn't even know what was going on. And then we started letting them sleep in the kitchen. And finally now we have an entire herd. There's one dog for all of us, four dogs, four people. And I credit everything I know about dogs to you.
Thank you.
That's true. And I was always one of those people that were like, okay, my dogs will not go on the furniture. They're not going to do it.
And just a minute ago, there was a dog laying in bed with her, with her shoulder, licking her computer.
Right to my heart.
We were so clueless. I mean, this poor dog, when we first started taking care of him, like we got this heated pad because we thought he was cold. And so it's like 50 something degrees outside. He won't go inside.
So we looked out one day and he was tug of warring it out the door, trying to get this freaking heated pad like out of his doghouse. And we built this huge kennel. We have like a 20 by 30 run out here, like a big kennel.
Which they rarely go in.
They never go in it anymore. Like our oldest dog, Coco, she's the little lab that we got. I don't know if you remember the
She ain't little no more.
She ain't little no more. She's about 100 pounds. She likes the
has thyroid issues.
All kinds of problems. But Coco will barely go outside. If it's cold, she's just like, nah, I'll just stay in here. This is all good. So before we start, thank you, because your stuff really is amazing and it works. And we looked at some other stuff and it was just like, let's just do what Carolyn says, because she knows what she's doing, right? So how do you serve people in that way? Like, what do you sell? Like, what's your product?
Well, you got me started on memberships, and I've had a membership ever since. So, I've kind of played around with trying to sell some courses. So I have about 5 courses that are inside the membership now. And I just developed a playbook, published that, which is kind of like what you would think of with football. There's a play for every little situation you might get into.
That's amazing.
So that's been really fun to develop. And I still do private one-on-ones. And then I also teach some live in-person group classes. So,
are you still practicing as a veterinarian or anything? Do you do that or?
Well, I am still a licensed veterinarian, and behavior is one of the arms of the medicine that you can do. I'm not a specialist in it, but I have a special interest in behavior. So most of my continuing education is in that. And so I can still prescribe medications, which I sometimes need for my clients, and, do diagnoses and so forth. But yeah, just behavior. That's all I'm doing.
Yeah. So in other words, you don't go into like an office regularly or anything like that and see dogs or cats or other pets regularly.
Yeah.
And I did that for a while. I'd see behavior clients in there. And then I also tried training facilities. I tried in-home, and they all worked, but they, one kept working better than the other because the dog's more relaxed at home, but then the person still isn't as relaxed. So doing it online is like, wow, this is a game changer.
Because everything is happening in their space, basically.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you're not introducing other energies or like, even the energy of the owner who might be nervous that you're coming into their house, because maybe it's not clean enough or it's not whatever, And
I think all dog owners can, like when you take your dog to the vet, it's like they get in the car and they're excited to go on a trip. And then they're like, wait a minute. And then they start looking out the window. And then they get in the parking lot and they're like, nope, not going in there anymore. This is done. I'm not doing this. This is out. I'm out. I'm staying right here in this car.
Right, exactly.
So they get to do the training at home and they just get your expert guidance. That's amazing.
Oh, it's worked out really well. And then COVID came along, which is not good, right? I mean, and I'm sorry, I know you had it. But it helped my business some because people realize, oh, I can do this at home. I can do this online. So that's made selling, or offering things.
I think a lot of people got COVID dogs and they didn't know what was going on.
Yeah.
Because like I know that like we had late February, someone dropped off a dog. That happens around here all the time because we've got this gigantic 10-acre lake behind our house. And no one should ever drop off a dog. I don't know how you can have the soul to do that.
Yeah.
And I do think people are like, well, I've made this decision to do something dumb, but I'm going to let this dog off by this pond where it has a chance to survive. I think that's what people are thinking. We just happen to be the mecca for drop off. Like there was a point during like after the pandemic in 2020, 2021 where our kennel became like a mobile shelter for dogs. Like we were getting dogs. Oh yeah. Like once a month, people would drop off a dog and we would feed it and keep it and put it there. And then we connected to a no-kill shelter network where people will relocate dogs all over the country. And so we would have a dog, it'd be here a week, and then it would end up in Canada with a new family or something through the network that we found. And but it happens all the time. And then right before the pandemic, our dog Duncan, he's our little poodle mix. And but someone dropped this little puppy off. And it was snowing, and we found it curled up by there was a camper, and we found him. And my little girl Anna she's 13 now, but she was little then, and she was like, "Can we please keep this poor little puppy?"
And it's like there's a global pandemic, and there's just all kinds of stuff going on. And so we're like, okay, we have this new puppy.
We have a new dog. And
we have kids at home, and this dog is out there freezing to death. So what is a parent to do?
That means you have a new dog named Duncan Sams. He's named Duncan because he's like brown on top and lighter on the bottom. And Anna Jo thought he looked like a Dunkin' Donut.
Oh,
so his name is.
I remember Duncan. He's very cute. Yeah,
yeah, he's a sweet man.
Yeah, I'm. I don't know if you should have told all those stories now because you're just going to get more.
I know, right?
Jocelyn's long-term plan is to start we want to start our own dog somehow shelter of some kind or something.
That's sort of like one of my long-term vision dreams is that I want to have a place for dogs who are unwanted to live. And I want to hire people that work there and their entire job is just to love the dogs and play with them and, make them have a home. I saw a Instagram story about this the other day. I forget what the place was called, but it was basically like a campground that did the same thing in another state. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is my dream. This is what I want.
So they have a dog campground where the dogs, it's like a shelter, but people who camp, they go camp there like an RV park. and then they play with the dogs.
And they have like a little coffee shop there, and all of the proceeds go to take care of the
That
place.
is so cool.
Yeah. I'll try to remember to send it to you. It's cool.
Yeah, if you do that, Jocelyn, I hope you let me know so I can help you.
Yeah, for sure.
It's so funny because I was thinking when we were going to talk, I was remembering how you were not into dogs. You were not a dog lover when this all started.
Well, I've always loved them.
Let me tell you right now, Carolyn.
Well, you didn't want them in the house.
All those dogs are Jocelyn's dogs. Make no mistake. Yes.
All 4 of them follow me everywhere. Like, I am their person. I just am. I don't know. But yeah, the only reason I didn't want one, honestly, is because we traveled a lot. And I was like, oh, it's just a lot of work, to get somebody to keep your dog and all of that. And like to take them to the kennel, all 4 of them, they're all gigantic, like it's an undertaking to take them somewhere.
Jocelyn, it's funny when we travel now. She's more worried about the dogs than the kids because go ahead, tell her.
The kids understand that I'm coming. I know they know the kids understand when I'm coming back. Like I can tell the kids I'll be back in 3 days and they get it, but my dogs, they don't understand. They just know that I'm gone.
Yeah, and they're sad, but it's okay. We have happy dogs because of Carolyn Lincoln. All right, so let's transition back to business now. So how has the membership grown? Like what are you doing like for content? Like tell us about the business itself and like really how you've kind of grown this thing.
Yeah. Well, I need to say that I've been married over 41 years and we have 4 children. And so that takes up, that's a lot of distraction and a lot of time. And, now my kids, I have 2 of them getting married next year, and my husband wants to build a house. So it's just like there's always craziness, right?
It never ends.
And I'm showing my dogs. So I still have my privates that I'm doing, which is consistent. And then the membership, it's a small high touch membership of under 50.
Okay.
And it's worked really well. And then I've sold, courses and other things on the side. But I'd really like to just focus on the membership.
Sure.
Because that will simplify my life.
Yeah.
And I'd like to grow it so it's somewhere between, let's say, 500 and 1,000 people. And of course, they'd come and go if they don't need me. But the members I have now, a lot of them have stayed, 2-3 years.
Yeah.
So, and I love that. So I would like to be able to offer them something a little bit more, like if I got 500 to 1,000 members, let's say, then, and maybe just 500, then I could offer a smaller high touch membership separate because that would be for people that want to get into dog sports and activities and so on.
Yeah. It's almost like tiers. Like the first tier is the basics, like your first year with your dog, basically. Yeah. And then once you get all the fundamentals taken care of, like the dog does not poop and pee all over everything. The dog does not rip everything to shreds. I lost a Xbox controller recently to our puppy.
Also a highlighter on this white blanket.
Yes, she found a highlighter and was just walking around going like drawing with it everywhere or something. I don't know what she was doing, but we were like, why is that blanket yellow?
That's our youngest dog who did that.
Her name
is mostly not chewing, but
she also lived on the streets for a while. She was a drop off, and we took care of her. But she's everything perfect. Except occasionally she finds a new toy. That's her, and she doesn't really understand the difference between the toys and highlighters yet. We're getting there though. We're working on it. Okay, cool. And then are you still in that mastermind? Do you still talk to the Foxy ladies from the Flip Lifestyle community?
Almost every single day. There's weeks that we might talk once a week, or somebody's in and around for a couple of weeks, but every few days there's a lot of messages. We're on a Voxer together. We still call ourselves the Voxy Ladies.
That's awesome.
And I just love them. Kareem, and to watch the other women, Kareem, Rena, Yolanda, and Cheryl just grow, it's amazing. And we've helped each other through a lot of, other things besides business, because it affects your business,
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. My mastermind, I've been in a mastermind for 7 years. Same kind of thing. And that was when we created Flip Lifestyle, that was our number one goal, was to connect other entrepreneurs together. Yeah. Because when we saw our success between 2013 and 2015, we started Flip Lifestyle at the end of 2014. But in 2013, when things started really taking off, we quickly realized it was because of the people we were meeting. It was because of the connections that we were making. all this stuff, you can figure out all the mechanical stuff and the doing of the things and all that. But like when you're stuck, when you're having, and it's mostly mindset, it's mostly just like your mood. Like, if your life is causing anxiety, it's hard to work on your business. If your life is causing stress, it's hard to have the motivation or the inspiration by yourself to cut through the noise and actually get things done. And I don't know about your mastermind, but mine is way more of the other life stuff and like, what's your marriage? What's your kids doing? Like stuff like that. And then there's probably like that 25% that's like, I don't know what to do, or I don't feel like doing this anymore. And you get that motivation to keep the entrepreneur train going. But most of ours is text messages, just like, how you doing today? It's Monday, hump day. Here's a meme. Oh yeah, by the way, this thing broke. Anybody know how to fix it? Like, is that what your mastermind from Flipped Lifestyle kind of became?
Ours is more, it's a lot about our personal lives. Like right now, the conversation we're having that lately has been about our parents aging and what we're going to do about that. And kids going off to school and so on, off to college and everything. So yeah, it's been, it's your personalities that attract the right people, I think. And I just wanted to say too, I wanted to meet some people in person too. So those women, we're all in different parts of the country, but two of the women are in my area. And I don't know if you remember this, but we didn't name ourselves, but we still meet almost every month.
Is it the same people in the Boxer group, or is it other people?
No, these are two other women from.
I remember you sent us a photo once of you guys.
Yeah. Who is
Joanne and Christina? Joanne Berkowitz and Christina Heideck.
Awesome.
And they are doing, gangbusters in their business. So.
We'll encourage them to reach out to us. We would love to connect with them.
And catch back up and talk about what they're doing.
And see how things are going.
Like that's one of the, I won't say it's a challenge. It's a challenge with Flip Lifestyle. Like we get messages sometimes and they're out of the blue and it'll just be like someone's killing it. And these are people that are still connected to the community and still doing things, but we don't often brag about ourselves. And someone will show up and I'll be like, how you doing? They're like, I got 10,000 members and, I've just bought a jet. And I'm like, wait, what did you just say? Like, what is happening?
Like, we did it all because we started in this community. I'm like,
wait, what? What are you talking about? Like,
that would have been lovely to know.
Thanks for sharing for the testimonial page. Help me out here a little bit. You know what I mean? People say,
just for that, like, we want to know what people are doing, just because we care about you and the people that have been with us forever. Like, we want to know.
Testimonial video. Come on, people. Help me out here. I'm a marketer. I need some footage.
Yeah, you're like family to all of us. That's all I gotta say.
You guys are to us too.
I know. Well, I was just saying to Shane a minute ago, it's like we still have never met her in person. Like
I know
like, it's weird, right?
Well, I'll tell you what was funny. What happened so we started the Flip Your Life live events for that reason. Like in 2018 and 2019, we had these amazing events in Nashville, Tennessee, and Lexington, Kentucky, and we were like, this is what we want out of this community. We want to be in fellowship and membership all year. And then we want to all come together for like a family reunion. That's what we actually called it internally, was like the Flip Your Life family reunion, basically. And like then in 2020, when that happened, when everything shut down, like thank God we did not sign the contract. We were a week away from signing the contract.
We kind of just needed a little break. So we were like, let's just hold off on signing this.
Let's see if the world's actually ending before we have this live event. Because we have a lot of friends who signed their contracts for 2020 and hotels would not let them out of them. And it was a disaster financially for some people. And it would have been really hard on us too, because those events cost almost $100,000
like
insanely
expensive.
I heard you talking about them on one of the podcasts and the amounts. It's like, wow.
It's insane, crazy. Right? But recently, now that we've and then we went on a different direction. We actually started a new company.
So we partnered with another company who hosted
a seminar company, a live event company. So we worked with them on their live events that was kind of branded with our stuff a little bit. But we've stepped back from that now, and we were just talking about this week. Like,
we've learned so many lessons.
Oh my gosh, we know how to run live events now. I mean, we ran probably 20 events a year for 2 or 3 years all over the country. And 2025, look, I just put this out.
Yeah, that life stage, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes. Yes. I want to start a new one. We want the next Flip Your Life Live to happen in 2025 so that we can get that back together. We can get everyone in one place. Yay. We know how to do it affordably for everybody now. We know how to do it affordably for us.
We should do it in the Cincinnati area and go back to the, what is it called?
The DoubleTree. So the big one of our highest sales events ever. Like, this is a joke for anyone in the live event industry. In the seminar industry, like Cincinnati is where you come home hungry. That's what people say.
That's what the salespeople say.
Like, we had this amazing event there, and we crushed it. And I guess it was in Northern Kentucky by the airport.
Yeah.
And I think that we had the home field advantage.
But like, this hotel was just terrible.
It was gangster.
Oh,
it was so ghetto. There was like
it's a big joke.
There was a hole in the ceiling when you walked in the lobby at the time because they had a leak and it had fallen through. We walked into the ballroom and all of the tables were stacked on top of each other like someone had thrown them into barricade from a monster, right? And we were like, "Where is the speakers? We need to plug our microphones in." And she goes, "It's over there." And she pointed to like a little round speaker like you would hook to a Windows 95 computer. I'm like, "Wait a minute, that's the speaker, that's the sound." So I had to go to Guitar Center and like buy speakers and but when we figured out a way to kind of block off the leak and we covered it up, and it was so beautiful. The team was so amazing. If you're listening, team, you guys rocked it. And we pulled it together, but we don't have, we have soared with the eagles and slithered with the snakes and been everywhere in between in live events. So the next one we run will be very, very well.
I'm just gonna beg you, don't do it during the weddings.
No, send us the date. How about this? I'll make a deal with you. Email me the dates,
and we will
not
those.
pick those dates. This will be the Carolyn Lincoln weekend that we can say yes. We will make sure that you can be there and all your friends can be there too. Okay.
I will leave heaven and earth to be there.
Yes.
All right. Cool. So let's talk about your membership. I mean, it's been amazing to watch just how persistent. I mean, you've been in it for years now. You've got this mastermind, this community. All these things are happening. You've got goals and dreams. I love the framing you put it into of the seasons are what determine what kind of entrepreneur you are. We think we're all smart with marketing and tactics and strategies and all these things we do, but really it's like, now I've got kids that are getting married. Now I've got kids. We are about to have kids go to high school. We're about to have kids go to college. That's going to change the game for us and how we run our business. So what are you doing like right now to maybe start moving that goal toward a lower touch 500 person membership? What kind of content are you creating? What are you doing for marketing right now? Like, how can we help you figure that out?
Yeah, I just published this playbook and that worked out really well. So that'll be a low cost offer. So I want to simplify my funnel. That's the idea. So I have a free gift that people can get, and the lead magnet, and then they'll be offered the playbook. Okay. And then once they get that, they'll be offered the membership.
Gotcha.
And then also once they're on the list, if they don't come in the membership, or even if they do, I guess, but I'll have webinars, which I've done a lot of webinars. So I figure that'll be a piece for my list. My biggest issue is, everything's pretty much set up. I just have to make sure I got to get rid of some of those, like you're selling this course and you're selling this webinar recording, whatever, and just simplify it. And then traffic is probably my biggest issue because I was focused on the playbook and the kids and the dogs and everything this year. I wanted to clean up everything in the back end, and I moved over to Kajabi. I guess I have two thoughts on the traffic. One is, and I might do both, I've had the lead magnet I've used in the past did really well on a Facebook ad. I'm not sure it attracted the right buyers. So I was thinking I could run that again for a couple of months, see how it does to cold traffic, and also do some retargeting to like put out, say, 2 or 3 very short videos and then retarget based on video views. And then also really ramp up my social media. And lately I do okay on Facebook. I'm pretty good at posting on there. TikTok I did more of, and some of those took off. Like I have one video with 70,000 views and 50,000, and people, comment or private message me and so on.
I think I'm going to break down and make a TikTok for us. I don't even have it on my phone. Like I am so uncool.
Yeah. John, we've been talking about TikTok a little more because you can get a lot of attention very fast on TikTok.
And I just want to make fun things of us just acting like idiots. Because
we act like idiots almost all the time.
It's just so easy. I swear, once you start using it, I guess what makes it so addictive is it gets to know you really well. more
Yeah.
so than like YouTube or YouTube might, but I just haven't invested the time in there.
Sure.
But very quickly it learns who you are and it sends you things. So
Oh yeah.
even though I made this video, I don't know, maybe 6 months ago, they just keep showing it and showing it.
Yeah, for sure.
So,
For sure. So let me ask you a couple follow-up questions just to understand better. Okay.
Yeah.
I've got some notes for the funnel we can talk about too. Like one of the things that we've been doing a lot lately is talking to people in different social media spaces to see what's really working right now. So the first follow-up question I have is, you said that I did not attract the right person that I want. Okay. So who do you want to attract, and who did the lead magnet attract? Those are two really important questions. You know, you do the right thing. You put your lead magnets out there. Nobody knows what a lead magnet's going to do until you launch it. So the decision making at the beginning is not, oh, will this work? It's, do I have one and can people find it? Right. But now you've actually seen this. So who do you want to attract, and who have you attracted?
I'd like to attract people with high energy dogs that are young, that are starting to having behavior issues before they decide to rehome or relinquish them. You know, I want to catch them early.
So who were you attracting?
I'm attracting, well, I mean, I think I'm attracting those kinds of people with dogs, but I wanted to do a wider demographic with more income, I guess. It seems like I've attracted a lot of older senior citizens, which are
Interesting.
great, and that's what I am. But, you know, a woman, I'm not complaining about myself, but just that some of them are on fixed incomes, and I don't really know why. Yeah, it might have been because I was at that time anyways, I could target like PetSmart kind of, you know, and I
Gotcha.
think they weren't really as invested in their dog as I wanted them to be. Does that
Sure.
make sense?
It makes total sense. What's the lead magnet now? Like, what is the lead magnet that got the attention but wasn't quite the right avatar?
Yeah, it might have been I think it may have been the audience. I'm not really sure, but the lead magnet is to get your dog to listen. That's the title of it, because that's what people always say over and over. They just won't listen. They won't listen. It teaches them how to get your dog to touch your hand, which is really valuable. I use it all the time, every day, because it can position your dog. You can gauge their level of arousal. You can get them to come when they won't come when called. They will sometimes come across, 100 yards because you say touch to get your hand. It distracts them. If they're looking at something, sometimes you can get them to touch. It becomes a reward in and of itself. I could go on. It's so valuable. And you always have your hand with you. Well, hopefully you have hands, but I mean, if your hand with you, you can do that. And it's simple. It's easy. It's fast to teach. And you can use it every
Like
day.
a quick win.
It's a very
Quickest
quick
of quick
win.
wins for your dog
Mhm.
training.
And by the way, I set it up so it could be /Shane. So if they want it, they can have
Okay,
it.
so playtobehave.com/Shane.
Shane. I would
Like
have
to
put
slash
Shane and
Shane too.
Jocelyn likes to
but-
would like to slash me about 3 times a day.
Sometimes
when
I
I'm
wish.
being stupid.
Yeah.
And has in the past. I've got scars. I can
So
people tell
download
you.
that if you want your dog to listen better. I might be downloading it myself
Literally,
because
guess
my
what?
dogs, their listening skills are not the
Sam
best.
listens, Coco listens, Duncan sometimes listens, Sweetie. It depends what's going on. If there's a deer on the other side of the pond, she's not
Yeah.
listening. There's no chance, right? Okay, so look at the lead magnet. The targeting is easy. Just target people in a different age group. We know that. Like, you can just not target seniors if you don't want to. You can target a
I
different
didn't think
demographic.
about how stupid of me. Yeah. Well, I guess I think I was targeting 35 years old to 65 plus.
So just change that down,
Yeah.
like change it down to like 28 to 58 or something like that,
Okay.
right? I would guess that some of the people you would like to attract more are the people who have more stressors in their life, like have kids at home and the dogs
Yeah.
and going to work, right? Because they don't have all this time to just think about the dog all the time because they're not retired or
Right.
something. So change the demographics, but also too, like just talking about social media. Jocelyn can speak more to this because Jocelyn's Instagram feed is dogs. I mean, that's pretty much like it's dogs consciousness and like meditation and stuff. Like that's what her stuff is. Basically.
Instagram knows me. Like we're really tight.
Instagram knows her in her soul, you know. But I know that Instagram is big for dogs, and you said, "Hey, I want to attract people with high energy dogs." I assume you have a higher energy dog. Do you still have was it Australian Shepherds? Is that what you had?
Yeah, and since then I got a border collie too.
Okay, so you've got
another
cracked out dogs running around all the time, right? You know what I'm saying? So like, I wonder what kind of TikTok content were you creating? Was it educational? Was it you talking about tips? Like, what were you doing on TikTok? Like, take that 70,000 person video, Success Leaves Clues. What is that video about? Like, what does it show on the video?
I did a series, so I did about 5 of these about dogs that don't get along. So I'm giving them tips on like, I just went right into, here's something you can do with the 2 dogs that's going to make it better. And I showed them exactly what to do. And then a couple of the others were similar.
Okay. So I see like your TikTok. So I'm looking at your videos.
There's a title. So it's skill. I think I listed it as skill 1. I don't know if that was the first one or if it's a different 1, 2, 3, one of those 3.
I'm taking a glance real quick at the things that are getting good views, and I'm noticing that like the ones with the dogs in the thumbnails seem to get more views.
Oh, well, that's a good point.
You know what I'm saying? Like I'm looking at your agility stuff is interesting too. Anything with the dog in it first seems to be doing better. Like look at this one. This is just like this one's called Get Your Dogs to Get Along, right?
Yeah, that's the series.
The series.
Right.
Got it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That video has a picture of the dog on it, right?
Yeah.
There's another one that's right beside it called Why Your Dog Won't Listen, and it's got a dog jumped up on a person. So like that's the thumbnail. So you can see, oh my gosh, my dog does that to me, right?
My dog does that to me.
My dog does that to me right now, right? And like the ones with the dogs in them seem to be really good. And I was actually kind of anticipating that when I got here. Like this, okay, the one with 69,000 views has 2 dogs with their mouths snarling, almost biting each other. See,
and they were probably playing during that video.
I was probably playing. It looks like one's eating the other one, like it's carcass or something, right? Like
one's a puppy and the other one's trying. Yeah, it's a play.
Exactly. But if I'm looking through this, what I'm seeing is, oh, my dog's fighting. Like I see exactly the problem that I have. And Jocelyn watches the videos where the dogs talk with the buttons.
Yeah, that's huge right now. I don't know if you can capitalize on that in any way, but like
teach your dogs how to talk, and that's a game changer.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even know if you have to do that. Like even doing reviews of stuff like that, or like maybe talking about it from a vet's point of view. I don't know. Like, is there something that you can
even just following those dogs on like Instagram? Like Instagram is huge for pets, right? And like if you can get this is a new strategy. We just interviewed someone on my other podcast, the Shane Sam Show. Her name was Kim Heinz, and she has a really interesting Instagram strategy. And what seems to be working on these sites now is, of course, you can get attention. Like we see why they might get attention. 2 dogs fighting. Help your dogs get along. My dogs are fighting. That's you're showing pain points and problems in your content. It's not just random like tips to make them better. It's like this is a problem. Dog jumping on you when you walk in.
Yeah.
Have a dog, squeak back like you're getting attacked by your dog or whatever, right? But like on Instagram, and it probably holds true for TikTok, the goal in these videos still has to be to get some kind of engagement.
Okay. Yeah.
It's not just teaching them the tip. You've got to get people to comment. You've got to get people to like, follow, subscribe, like whatever it is. Like that's the fundamental thing on social media that is always true and always will be true. But then what people are realizing now is as the algorithms change and as online marketing changes, outbound is becoming much more important. Like when you get up, like this morning I got up and I had like 12 people sign up for our email list yesterday or whatever.
Nice.
I outbounded every one of them. It took me like 5 minutes, and I just sent them a quick email myself, not from
with a video,
like a little Loom video. And I was just like, "Hey, this is Shane from Flip Lifestyle." I saved their name,
all their name.
Yeah. Hey, Carolyn, it's good to have you here. Just want to let you know we saw you sign up for our list. We want to help you in any way we can. Hit reply, and I always put a PS. Here's a discount for my membership.
Oh, okay. That's great.
So now you've changed the game from I'm just going to try to guess what content is amazing to I'm going to create content that people see themselves in. They see those pain points that we're clearly seeing get the most attention on your TikTok. But then our goal is to follow up with those people. It's not just a hope they wander into our funnel. This doesn't take a lot of time. I don't care if you're getting 20 people follow you a day. Like it would take you 20 minutes to send them videos or to send them a little outbound thing and offer them a discount code to your membership. Ask them if they need help. Like,
what problems are they experiencing with their dog right now? I mean, that just gives you more content ideas if people write you back.
And this is true for ads too. Like, ads are going to get seen by more people because you're paying for them, right? And they usually get more likes, they get more comments, they just get more activity. So the follow-up on the back end of an ad even or a social media post is just take 5 minutes a day while you're drinking your coffee to contact those people, comment those people, but especially in the platform. Like I'm going to click on this 70,000 person TikTok. Whoa.
Like I try to have a call to action in all of them, and they can go to my link tree and get something. But otherwise, I mean, if they comment, I always answer back. But
Yes.
I don't have a way that I'm getting their email necessarily, all those people.
Yeah, but you do have them on the social media. We're not worrying about the email as much. I know that sounds a little crazy because we still worry about the email. We have an opt-in on our contact form. We have an opt-in if you try to click anything on our website. The first thing we do is ask for a name and an email. I have direct messaged people my opt-in. That seems to work way better at getting people to actually take action. Like this girl, you commented on this post, right? This someone on here was named Heather. And you commented like, let's see, let me open all of them. So you said immediately, I can help you in my program. You could also benefit from a board certified veterinary behavior specialist. So that was 2 call to actions in one thing. Now we're confused. They don't know which one to do, or you sent them to someone else besides you, right? Yeah. What you could have said there, like says, what kind of professional help do I need my 2 dogs to get along? Well, you could say, well, I am a veterinarian. I train people for dogs. I am the professional help you need. I'm going to DM you some free resources. So you're already commenting. So just go the extra step of clicking on that person and sending them a direct message in the platform. Instagram and TikTok are probably your best bets, it sounds like, because you can repurpose all your stuff from TikTok onto Instagram. Okay. But Instagram just is known, like there's literally one of the most famous hashtags on Instagram is dogs of Instagram. Oh. So like people just love Instagram for dog and pet like content. But then you make sure you're focused on you, that you're the expert. I'm going to DM you so you reach out to them and give them the lead magnet. And you've got 113 comments on this one video. What if 50 of them, you messaged them and just had the lead magnet and you got 50 emails from that one post?
I think ChatGPT could give you some content ideas, and also something that I watch a lot on like Instagram, and I'm curious if it might work for you, would be like reviews of things. So maybe you could review like behavioral items for dogs as a vet. You see what I'm saying?
And
so
you're not
that's related
game though, right? You're trying to review it so people see it.
I mean, you can put an affiliate link. It's not going to hurt anything.
For sure.
But like, don't expect to make millions of dollars off affiliates. It's probably not going to happen.
It's
but
more so you can serve them, review things, and then get their email by direct messaging them.
Yeah. So I'm wondering if maybe that would bring in some of the people that you're wanting, people who are interested in behavioral things, and you're reviewing items that could help them with that. So just a curiosity,
Good idea. Would you inbox the people that just liked it? You know what I'm saying?
Like on TikTok, think anyone who's paying attention at all that says that says comment, like those are leads.
I would start with the comments, probably.
Start with the comments for sure. Yes. Yeah.
Okay. And just the comments. Yeah, what you said makes sense. And they've already done an outreach. So
they started the outreach. That's right. They started the conversation. But moving it into DMs lets you create this really personal access feel. And when that happens, someone's going to ask you a question about something you teach in your membership. And then that is when you say, people are always one question away from giving you money. So like when you get them there to say a question after you've given them value, like you had this cool post, you've interacted with them in your comments, shot them a free resource. Hey, here's my lead magnet. You don't call it a lead magnet, but you say, here's my free guide to get your dogs to get along or whatever. And then they opt in. Now you have this open line of communication. They've accepted the gift from you. So let them keep talking. And then when they have something that would take you more time than a post to answer, point them to the membership. That's when you can redirect them. And do you pick up 5 of these people every 100 people? That's probably what's going to happen, right? But you're just sending some messages. But over time, that starts stacking up. You know what I'm saying? Like if you pick up 5 of these people a week for a year, all of a sudden that's 100. Was it 5 times?
I'm not good at math.
How many? 52. That's like 250 members. No, that's not right. 50. 5 members times 50 weeks, 250 members, right?
Yeah.
So we have this path now that we can control. I can run an ad. I can create content. I can get engagement. I can follow up. The fortune's in the follow up. And I'm building a relationship before they even walk in the door, right? And then you might even find people that you don't want through this process. They're like, well, I just like to kick my dog. Does that work? And you'd be like, we're not going to DM you back.
No free guide for you.
It says play to behave, not kick to behave, okay?
Yeah.
So we will not want to kick the dogs. Right.
So I would recommend that you listen to 2 podcasts. So the first is the what is her name? Kim Hines.
Kim Hines.
It is not out yet, but it will be out soon on the Shane Sam show.
I think it's the next one. So it'll be coming out next week.
Yeah, so probably next week. And then also I would recommend you listen to this AI podcast that Shane recorded with a guy named Jeff Woods last week. This is something that we've been using a lot lately.
Almost all of our messages now, even in comments, are getting filtered through ChatGPT with these AI prompts, because you can literally say things in ChatGPT like, hey, this was my post, and you can paste your post, and you can say, here are the comments people are leaving. As a business, expert, what should I reply back in this DM? So you don't have to sit there and really think about it. It's just like you get a little prompt. It tells you what to do. You kind of modify it for how you want. And you can even say things like, with the idea of converting this person into a member. And by the time now you're not even really thinking about these DMs. It's just like, here's the post I made. Here's the text. Here's the comment this person made. What would be something I could give them for free to help them join my membership?
Well, you can even say, here are some of my top performing posts on TikTok. Please give me some suggestions for other posts that are similar to this.
Yeah, like go find your top 10 videos and say, ChatGPT, I made 10 videos. Video 1 was about this. Video 2 was about this. Video 3. These are my top 10 videos. Give me 50 more ideas of videos that will get the same kind of engagement as these. I actually heard an AI prompt this morning that was insane. It was about building software with ChatGPT, but it kind of applies here. It was like, hey, it was like basically, here's a program someone invented that has 100,000 users. I want 100,000 users in my version of this product. Help me build out the product. Help me find the people. Help me do these things. Like
it's really powerful.
It's really here. And if you're not using these tools, it feels frustrating because you're guessing and you're seeing all these other people with these big dog Instagrams and things happening. But that's how they're doing it. They're finding what works. They're using the AI programs to help guide them and steer them in that direction to know their posting schedule. And then bam.
And so that podcast, it's number 132
on the Shane Sam show.
So I would recommend listening to that.
Probably 132 and 133. I'm pretty sure Kim's next. So that's the one
we're not 100% sure about that, but probably. So.
We don't exactly know when stuff gets posted because someone else does it. So
I think I listen to every single one of the podcasts.
That's what I'm talking about.
But I don't think
everyone should do that. Listen, everyone should do that. Everyone, all the time.
I don't think I got the AI one. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, it just came out like a few days ago. So
I think so. Let's go back and recap a little bit here. You're cleaning up the funnel. We know we want the email list to grow. That's fine. But social media is where it's at, and we're all bending that way. Okay. But like, you need to show the dogs. The dogs need to be front and center.
Okay.
And I think that showing the dogs in pain points seems like intuitively what's happening to these videos right now. Like not just, oh, here's my dog running through an agility thing. That's cool. That's a higher touch thing. but that's not what we're going for. I'm not even sure if I would put that dog agility stuff on there all the
Really?
time.
Okay.
I would
Yeah,
probably
I just thought I should sprinkle it just so they see some authority.
I mean,
Sprinkle it.
definitely test stuff out, see what works.
It's definitely in there, but not everyone's doing that's entertainment. And people are like, wow, she has an agility dog.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, my dogs are fighting. My dogs are jumping on me. My dogs ate my Xbox controller. My dogs, how do I get my dog to do this thing? Right. And then that content with your dogs that are high, and show your dogs in high energy settings that aren't agility. Show them in normal settings, like get them riled up and then just film them going nuts. Like let them go bonkers.
I could even see maybe doing one that's kind of like poking fun at your dogs. Like, do you have any funny agility videos of them like failing at things?
Yes, there's one on there.
Yeah, like I can think of one
That would be amazing.
Yeah, like you think that my dogs are perfect at agility? Watch this. You know what I'm saying? Like, or my dog could never do agility, or my dog trying to be an agility dog, or
It's kind of the work is never done. Like, you don't just train your dog and it's perfect all the time, guys.
Yeah.
You know, you gotta bring them back. You got.
I like stuff like that. It makes me laugh, and I think it's really shareable. You know. It's sort of like that thing that was going around at the Olympics is like, I didn't make the Olympic team, show me or whatever. And it's like people doing stupid sports.
Dancing,
I didn't see that.
The
That
girl was
sounds
the one that
funny.
everybody was doing because they were like, I could totally.
That was cracking me up because people were just posting like sports fails. And so it was funny.
Yeah.
So, all right. So I have a question for you that I want to know about because
Yes.
one of the things that I can remember, you know, just going back and looking at your journey with us, I can remember a few times you messaging me and be like, I'm done. I don't think I can do this anymore.
Yes,
Oh
yes.
yeah, I have. Yes, I know these messages.
That hasn't
We
been-
take some time to time.
Few of these over the
Usually
years.
our answer is like, shut up, keep working, let's go. We got stuff to do. You're doing this. Yeah.
What I'm curious about, I'm just curious, you know, if there's other people out there right now who are thinking that they're like, okay, I've been trying this, it's not working, or it's not working the way that I want it to work, or whatever. I'm just curious, like, what would your advice be? To
Yeah.
them?
How did you stick with it and you're still going?
You have to have a strong why. And my strong why is that it really hurts my heart to see a dog that's being mistreated or rehomed. And some people think, I'm not saying I mean, sometimes it has to happen and it's good if the dog is rehomed. I certainly believe that. But if you can fix it, it's so much better because your home is the only home that dog has ever known. And to go to a shelter, it just hurts my heart when I know they don't have to. And it isn't just for the dog, the person too. I mean, I see that pain, I see that anguish. And so I didn't give up. And then I guess I've done a lot of hard things in my life, you know, just going to veterinary school, having kids, being married. And I figure, well, it's all been hard, so it's worth it in the long run. But I think too, and I don't know how you feel about this, but I think it takes, you know, I kind of knew if you start a new business, it might take you 2 years to really get your feet going, right? But actually, when you start a new business, an online business, there's a lot of tech and a lot of times you do things alone. You wouldn't think of doing that necessarily with a brick and mortar. You'd open up a restaurant, you'd hire people, right? But we as entrepreneurs online, a lot of times we just go at it alone. And then everything's on you. The marketing and, you know, all the tech stuff and helping your clients and so on. So I think it can take you 3 to 5 years. Or more. And then even once you get there, then there's the whole business of scaling. So first you have to grow. You have to be the right business. You have to be able to. I had good coaches. I think that's a big part of it too. I mean, having you guys in my corner has made all the difference. And I know a lot of times I haven't been as active in the forums. I was active in the forums a lot and then not as much. And, you know, it goes back and forth.
It's a security blanket.
You're
what it's for.
Always of life.
It's there when you need it. It's not when you don't. You know?
Yeah. And what did you think when you reached out and you were like, "Hey guys, I'm giving it up. I can't do this anymore." And we were like, no.
Did you? I think you were subconsciously reaching out. Like they'll tell me to be quiet and keep working. That's what they'll tell me to do.
I mean, you're just always so positive and so supportive. And I know it sounds probably funny to you because you know so many thousands of people, but to me, you're like family to me. And even though you're not in my life every day, I listen to you all the time. And even though, you know, when I need resources, I can go in and get them. But really, the biggest resource that I needed to keep going is to have your encouragement and your positivity and just hear. I mean, you're just natural coaches, and it just really makes a difference to have people in your corner and have a community, have other people that you can share it with,
It's not, people think it's a catchy little, people come for the content, but they stay for the community. Like, and they think that that's just like a selling point, but it's really like, that's kind of our why, is like, so no one has to be alone in this.
Yeah.
Because it sucks when you do find yourself alone in this. And it's almost even if you have a team, as the leader of the team or as the founder of the business or as the creator with the why, you're still sitting on the mountaintop by yourself. And you need other creators who have their whys. And there's some kind of camaraderie there that just, like, even in our personal life, someone's going to misconstrue this when they hear this, but like, we mostly purposefully, intentionally try to hang out with entrepreneurs as our friend group, as the people we talk to on a daily basis, because until you are in the boat, you don't know which oar to pick up. And people in 9-to-5s or in this, which we still have a lot of friends that are in 9-to-5s and do things and listen to the podcast and all that, whatever. But like, it's just a different, when you're having a parenting discussion with another parent, when that parent runs a business, they get it. When you have a discussion about a life decision, like moving or starting or stopping or whatever these normal things we all have to do is, I trust the opinions of my entrepreneur circles, the community, and people like that better, because we're handling life in the same direction. And it's just so important to have those kind of people around you. We did not have that in the beginning. We had our first year in business was everyone telling us we were crazy. Yes. Every single person in our life.
And it's hard to keep going when everybody's looking at you going, what are you doing? Are you insane?
Like I remember when I was coaching and I was working a lot on the online business and I was still a teacher. And I remember like one of the coaches that I worked with was like, what are you doing, man? This is stupid. Like, and it was like, he got mad at me. And I was like, maybe it is stupid. Maybe I am dumb, right? And then they all write you later and they're like, that's amazing. How can I do that? Right? Exactly. But that's the point you're trying to get to. But when you surround yourself with a community of people who do the same thing, it's so much easier to have that safe space to go in and talk about all this other stuff.
And I think what we're learning more than anything else, 10 years later, is that like it's not even necessarily about all the business stuff. I mean, those things are important and those skills are things that we all need to learn and that we all need to practice. But I think that one of the main reasons that we're here is because we're all like-minded people and we're all walking the same path. And because of that, we can kind of band together and be like, okay, what do we need to do next? And it's not even necessarily a business strategy. Sometimes it's just, hey, don't give up on yourself because you have something really cool to offer the rest of the world.
You said something interesting a minute ago. Personal development has made us more money than professional development. I'll say that out loud from the mountaintops, period. Mindset's better. But you said a minute ago, you said, when I was going to quit, I remembered I've done hard things. I've been married. I've raised kids. I've done that. And I'm sitting there, when I heard you say it a second ago, I was like, that sounds like someone said that to you in a mastermind or a Voxer conversation, or reminded you about those things. Because I find when I'm alone and things are going wrong and I'm ruminating, I remember all the past hurts and traumas of, oh, you failed last time. This has never worked. What do you do? Like that's the voice in our head. But those external voices around us help us realize that that's not always true, right? Like we forget the things we've done in the past that are amazing and remarkable, and they need to be pulled up. And sometimes, like I know for me, my friends pull me up and say that. They pull me out and do that. And you sound like you've surrounded yourself with people to do that too.
Yeah, and you have to hear it again and again, or at least I do. You have to hear it again and again and again and again from people who really know and love you and understand you. And that's what you get in a community.
Yeah.
I mean, there's just nothing else like it. And I, like you said, you come for the content, but you stay for the community. Absolutely.
Let's go back to your funnel now with that in mind. Like, it feels also too like you're really focused on your expertise, which is the first thing you have to focus on. I don't see anything on this TikTok about community stuff or about other people going through the same thing. I don't see like, hey, this is Bob's dog or something like that. And he's going through this just like you go through that. Like, and that's really what you're trying to build. We have to sell what we're actually selling, right? So, of course, the first thing people think they need is knowledge, but maybe focus a little more on this community. Like, take your dogs to a dog park. I say kids because they are kids, but like take your dogs to like a dog park. Let them see them playing with other. That's what Jocelyn loves when the one dog
Oh my gosh.
visitors, when the
I
friends come
love
over.
it. Okay, so I follow all of these talking dogs with the buttons, and they get together all the time. And
Like for play
they,
dates.
yeah, and they get together. They go on. They have what they call hot doggy summer camp, and they go in like a cabin, and they all hang out together. And I'm like, I want them to be my friends. My
Oh,
dogs have to learn to push these buttons.
Dogs need
that's
communities
so
too.
so interesting because I did this talk actually, and I want to give it again, and it's about how getting your dog involved in activities is the best way to help them with behavior because you pay more attention to them, you have fun, they're having fun, and you get, it's a whole new social life. You meet all these people and you meet their dogs too. And that's one of the things I look forward to most. When I do dog agility, it's like, yeah, the sport's really fun, but it's also like that special time I have with my dog and all these friends I've developed over the last
Totally.
20 years.
Yeah. So one thing that might be cool, I just keep thinking of ideas for you because this is
Thank
just such a
you.
fun topic. But
Yeah.
whenever you go for agility, like maybe do a little series about like dog friendly environments in Cleveland or in Chicago or wherever you're going,
Instead of filming just the dog agility stuff, that's cool. That's the training part, right? But like cut into your dogs playing with other dogs or like talking to
Well,
a
that's like
friend about
super
your
shareable,
dogs.
Yeah. Like if you do dog friendly places in city, like that's something that's super shareable that people would be interested in. So
That's a great
some
idea.
thoughts.
You can emphasize the community without saying your community. Like when you're in community with other dog owners, other dog people, like honestly, the B roll might be more valuable than the A roll in that situation.
Well, and a lot of those people, so if you meet people out in places that are dog friendly, a lot of them have Instagrams too. So like you can tag them and they'll probably reshare you. You see what I mean? Like there's a lot of possibilities for this type of content.
Like I wonder if you could ask your friends when you're out, like, like you'll see like your friends and then they have their dog and like, hey, what was the hardest thing for you to get your dog to do? And like one of them might say, oh man, my dog always jumped on us when we came in. And then you're like, how did you get them past that? Right. And like just like maybe even kind of like do a little selfie interview and talk to them about that and how it's a common problem. So how can your people who feel alone because they can't figure out what to do with their dog see community and why that community of being around other dog owners is really the most important thing? It's not just the blueprint. It's not just the playbook. It's
That's such a good idea.
in space with other dog owners. And if you don't have that, because people don't have that if they're living in an apartment in New York or whatever necessarily, but they can have it from you. They can go. Jocelyn and I are in all kinds of like forums and discords, and we talk to people with similar interests all the time that people may not like around here, but we have those people that we talk to online. That's how we get that bucket full, So maybe show some more content like that too. And I love how you're cleaning up your funnel. Like it doesn't have to be complicated. It's awesome dog content on Instagram and TikTok, not necessarily just ads. And then retarget those people who are engaging there, who love your content, right? And then do some more fortune in the follow-up marketing, like really build relationship with these people. This is a mindset thing I can share with you from Flip Lifestyle. Flip Lifestyle's been through a massive evolution in the last 4 years to come back to where we are and where we want it to go now.
Yeah, I love that.
Personal development stuff. But one of the things with Flip Lifestyle we've started realizing is our membership is where our members hang out. But everyone that listens, everyone that follows, that's our community. So if you can extend that community out to these DMs, to these comments, to these likes, and really draw people into that feeling, well, now people want to walk through the platinum door and see what's happening in the VIP area, see what's happening behind the curtain, behind the rope. So maybe try to do that in some of your strategy.
Yeah. Yeah. I know like your podcast is a huge part of that. And so I need
we just did an ad test. Check this out. So we've been offering coupons in different places because we wanted to really start tracking like how people were engaging with the audience. And we put a podcast coupon code on the podcast. If you're listening right now, you probably heard it at the beginning of the show. Go use it. But like then we tried, well, of course we have email marketing because we love email marketing. And we even have some social media marketing. And then we have direct outreach, right? So we created different coupon codes for each channel. And I'm not saying podcast is right for you necessarily, because dog ownership is so social and visible. That's probably social media. But for us, we looked at the data and like 60-70% of the members came from the podcast direct coupon. They went to the website and typed it in. It was even converting better than email.
Wow.
But the big picture of that is we build our deepest relationship with our customer in blank platform. For us, we build our deepest relationship with our customer on the podcast. So the podcast starts our chain. Yours might be, we build our deepest relationship with dog owners on TikTok. Well, if that's true, and that's what's providing the most attention and views, that's where the funnel has to be cleaned up. All the other stuff doesn't matter. It's how do we follow up with those people in that place and get them onto our list from there. So everybody's got to fill in that blank, right? Like we have friends, they only do YouTube. They have no podcast, no other social media, nothing. They just make tons of money on YouTube. So they build their deepest relationship with their customer on YouTube. TikTok's working.
Yeah, I mean, it seems to be working really well.
Like maybe that's the only thing you do, and then run ads on TikTok to make it even better. And then follow up on TikTok to make it better.
I always have this feeling, this bad feeling. You just see this stupid mental stuff maybe, but I don't know. I always think, I should be doing this on YouTube. I should be doing this on YouTube. I shouldn't be using TikTok.
Should is a very interesting mental health word.
Let's go with data. What does the data show is working?
Say for you? And like, who says you should do anything, right?
No, it's like
we'll should each other, and should also be like, you should do this. And I'm like, I should. And I'll say like, hey, you should do this. And she'll be like, oh, I should do that.
Here's a little secret for you. Should is usually someone else's expectation.
100%.
Yes. And it is. I know. People do say a lot, YouTube's where it's at. That's where you're going to make your money. That's where you're going to get. And I don't know. TikTok's kind of fun, and I can just pick up the phone and do it. Like I don't have to do
your mind
all this other stuff.
When your mind starts spiraling like that, one of the things that I like to say is stop, show me the evidence. What's the evidence? If the evidence states that you're getting the most engagement on TikTok, then what does it matter if your brain tells you you should be on YouTube?
Or someone else does. And masterminds actually have a double-edged sword in that regard, because you see other people doing things working for them.
Yeah.
But then we lose the layer of, but they have a different business, different avatar. Like nobody else has dogs on their videos. Like intuitively you knew that TikTok, and I will say Instagram is a place you could go. Should.
I mean,
I'm on Instagram. I haven't invested in it like I have in TikTok.
For sure.
And maybe TikTok's the only place you need to invest. But like, what's working for you in your experiments, and then ask for support there. Like when you say like, hey guys, how do I get more attention? And everybody's like, well, YouTube works for me. Podcast. Don't say that. Ask better questions to your mastermind, and you're in the forums, in the community, and different places. Say, hey guys, I use TikTok. What are your ideas to make my TikTok better? I've got a 70,000 view video. This is the best response I've ever gotten to anything in my business, and I don't want to go anywhere else. Now, with my railroad track, help me figure out how to build this train. And then your mastermind can really come at you and say, do this, do that, give you ideas, advice.
Because like the brain space that you're using to figure out which platform should I be using, like that could be used to create content and to do things. Yeah. And I'm saying this to myself too, because I've been talking about like, okay, we're going to start a TikTok. I've been saying that forever and we haven't done it.
And I'm like, hey, Jocelyn, at the top of our webpage, it says Instagram and podcast. Let's just stay there. That's what we're going to do. Right. So.
Well, it's always fun to experiment with something once you,
Pat Flynn says to take 10% of your time to scratch the itch. So like, if take 10% of if you want to try something new and you work 10 hours a week, 1 hour can be, I'm going to post on LinkedIn or whatever, right? You can totally experiment there. but 90% of our effort has to be on the thing
that we know is working.
That we know that is working, which for us, book podcasts. Just keep podcasting and then keep sharing that podcast stuff everywhere. For you, it might be TikTok. And then if those videos work, share them in other places, like an extra thing. But like focus on one place. The top end of your funnel, traffic gets fixed when you laser focus on one place that brings you traffic. And it sounds like you found your place. Well, Carolyn, listen.
Okay, that makes sense. Yeah.
Amazing conversation.
Thank you.
We're proud of you for sticking with it and keep going. Listen, it's a big deal to have a membership with paying members, to have private clients and coaching clients and like all those things. You've made it to that point of scale. Like that's what we're trying to do next is you've survived and then you get to scale, right?
Yeah.
You started, you survived, and now you get to scale. Oh, that's a new thing. Did you hear that?
Oh my God.
Hold on, I just came up with a new one. You got to start, you got to survive, and then you got to scale. That's entrepreneurship in a nutshell. And you've made it to scale. Now we get to see what happens.
Most of that thanks to you. So I would say all, but I mean most, probably 99% of it, thanks to you.
I'll take 1% and you keep the 99 for all the hard work you put in.
Absolutely.
All right. So one more time, everybody, tell everybody where they can find you on TikTok or online.
On TikTok and on Instagram, on Play to Behave. Same thing on Facebook. But I have a free gift at playtobehave.com/Shane. And
and we highly recommend. We fully endorse you
absolutely
as the dog trainer extraordinaire. So thank you for being on the podcast today, Carolyn.
Thank you so much.
All right, y'all. That wraps up our interview with Dr. Carolyn Lincoln of playtobehave.com. You can find her on TikTok at playtobehave. You can find her on Instagram at playtobehave. But go check out her TikTok. If you have a dog, you should follow Carolyn Lincoln. She's absolutely amazing. She is our dog trainer. She's taught us everything that we know about dogs. We have 4 happy, healthy, amazing pups that bring us incredible love and joy. People, we do not deserve dogs. Dogs are amazing. You know, maybe you're a cat person, but that's okay. We're dog people. And so go check out everything that she's got online. She's got an amazing membership. She has incredible trainings. I have used her trainings. We have taken her trainings and we have implemented them. And I can tell you the results are 100% awesome when Dr. Carolyn is in your corner. And she is helping you to play with your dog so your dog behaves better and your whole family gets to enjoy that experience too. And if you would like to join Carolyn in the Flipped Lifestyle community, you can check that out over at flippedlifestyle.com. Just go to flippedlifestyle.com. Got amazing resources there for you. We can help you start, build, and grow an online income of your own. You can literally take your expertise and passion, go build an audience on social media or podcasting, YouTubing, and get people to come in and serve them in a membership community. All you need is 100 people to pay you $50 a month. That's 60 grand a year. 200 people is 120 grand. Like that is the path to get to a 6-figure income, to have a real impact on other people in the world and be able to take your God-given skills, talents, knowledge, wisdom, everything that you've got to this point in your life right now and turn it into an amazing way that you can build an income for you, build margin in your life so you can grow and evolve as a human being. All right, y'all, that's all the time we have for this Flipped Lifestyle podcast. Thank you so much for being a part of this community and listening every single week. Make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss a single episode. And if you've not done so, leave us a 5-star review. Tell us what you love about the show. Tell us how we've helped you in your journey. If you're one of those people out there and you're crushing it at Flipped Lifestyle and you're doing things with our programs and you've got an awesome online business that you built through our trainings and teaching over the last few years, let us know about it. We'd love to have you on the show. We'd love to talk about it, catch up with you. And of course, always the goal is to help you take it to the next level. So that's all the time we have for this week. Until next time, get out there, take action, and do whatever it takes for as long as it takes to flip your life. We'll see you then. That was a fun conversation. That was it's so good to see you guys. We really, one of the things, we basically like took a year off because we were so burnt. We burnt ourselves out, Carolyn.
It was amazing, and it was also it was a lot of work.
Probably the most amazing 3 or 4 years ever that an entrepreneur and speaker and everything that we did, and it nearly killed me twice, like literally.
Well, you're one of the most honest people in this space, you know, and it's been really interesting to watch your whole journey. And you went through some challenges hiring a team for a while, and then you did this. And so it was just really interesting to see your whole, your whole journey.
Yeah, I mean, we tried things. It's funny because it's like we started in one place, we tried all of these things, and now we've like come back around full circle and we're right back to where we started.
But it's like we know what we love, and we know who we love, and we know our people are amazing, and we know what we built and what we do, but we had to go do those other things to see what else there was.
Well, and there were so many lessons in that, it wasn't just like business lessons. It was also life lessons and like trying to juggle all those things and like working in a partnership and what did that look like and
building a big team. We had like 30 people on our team at one point. Like It was insane.
And you were successful at everything you did, it seems. So,
yeah, I mean, it definitely worked.
It all worked. I mean, I'd never say that we're like the smartest people on the planet. She's pretty smart. I'm not very smart, but we really. I think one thing I've always stumbled across is it doesn't matter what you do. It only matters that you do. Like once you pick a direction, if you go all in, that thing will work eventually. You've just got to be all in on it.
That's what I'm trusting to be true.
Yes.
Yeah, you made it this far. Just keep going.
Just keep going and scale.
But we're trying to we're getting in, we're like kind of changing the pie, I guess, a little bit. So like right now we're probably like mostly business and like some personal development. And so we're trying to like more even that out a little bit.
Every person who comes to the community always tells us that it's the mindset stuff that helped them get over the hump. It's not just the business stuff we teach. It's the healing from the things in the past that hold you back. It's being present so you can do the things and actually having a clear direction for the future. And that's really what we're trying to get with all the lessons that we've learned now. Like, how do we pass that on to everybody in our community? So that's the goal.
There's someone that said that entrepreneurship is the best way to do personal development, something 100%. Like that.
Totally. I mean, it's because it challenges you all the time. It's like it kind of just breaks you down to the core, and it's like, are you able to do it or are you not?
And we actually, Jocelyn had this realization probably just a few weeks ago, is that the reason, like, it's not called flipped entrepreneurship.
Yeah,
it's called flipped lifestyle. It's your life. Like it's about growing and evolving as a person, right?
Yeah, and like I guess there's a safe way for a lot of people to do that is by becoming an entrepreneur, by making extra money. Like it doesn't sound safe, or I don't know. It doesn't sound safe to be like, I'm going to change my entire life tomorrow.
Yeah,
but
I'm going to be a motivated, positive person, and I'm going to forget all my childhood traumas.
Yeah. So that doesn't sound safe, or like, I don't know how to do that, but like I do know how to start making some income online.
Everyone has made money with a job, and everyone has seen a boss. So it's such a good move personally to say, well, what if I was the boss? I think I could wrap my head around that. And once that journey starts, if you can make enough money to provide for yourself, now you have time, margin, and money to invest in your personal growth. So that's what really
So this is the road that we've been walking down for like the past 5 years, and we're like, oh,
we've been doing this the whole time.
We had no idea what we were actually doing, but it actually makes a lot of sense. Totally. So that's what we were doing.
So that's what we're doing.
And it's good you have each other. I mean, that makes a big difference.
Most days.
So
most days.
Oh, we were about to kill each other yesterday.
Yeah, yesterday there was about a 4-hour window there. We're like, okay, this ship's sinking real quick. No, I'm just
no, I know. After all the years,
there was definitely a go to your corners moment yesterday where I'm like, I'm just gonna go in here, you go in there, and we'll talk about this tomorrow. Deal?
Yeah,
Deal.
The last 2 days have been a little crazy, but anyway, we
when we're like not on the same page though, we go to text message. Because then it removes all the emotion. So we just go in different rooms.
Yeah, it's so much better. Like we just text each other, and I don't know.
That's our DEFCON 1. DEFCON 1 is like go to different rooms and text each other. DEFCON 2 is stop texting. DEFCON 3 is me apologize. That's pretty
I think that's like if it's just a stage of marriage, right? When you get there, that's really good. That's not going to end,
20 years in July. So
we've been doing this for a while.
Because the kids keep growing and challenging you, and then, oh, well, you won't have this issue, but my husband retired. Then it's like, you're home. Still?
Great.
Actually, we've been home together for over almost 12 years.
Yeah,
12 years. 12 years.
I bow my head to you.
Almost 12 years.
Yes. So it's all good.
And a lot of days it's really good, and then some days I'm like, we may kill each other.
That's right.
So
You know what? Still alive, still recording podcasts.
thank you for coming on.
Thank you for coming on the show, Carolyn.
Oh, it was so much fun. Thank you. I love seeing you.
Have a good day.
See you soon.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care.